This woman does not only want your wages, she wants your belief that you are powerless.
I see.
Not the debt is what truly holds you here. The contract has no power you do not give it.
But the debt.
A debt built on debt, on a lie, is not a real debt. What you signed was missing information she was required to give you.
That changes everything.
3 months passed. Akasua worked longer hours, but her pay kept getting smaller. Every week there was a new fee, a new deduction, a new reason why she owed more than she had earned. She was not allowed to take a second job. She was not allowed to move out until her debt was cleared. And the debt never seemed to get any smaller. It seemed instead to grow on its own, like something alive. She tried to ask questions. She tried to read her contract more carefully, but the language in the contract was complicated and confusing, full of words she did not fully understand. And every time she raised the matter with Madame Charity, the woman's warm smile went cold and her voice went flat. The message was always the same. Akasua owed, and until she had paid what she owed, she was not free to go. At night, lying on her narrow bed in the shared room, Akasua thought about her grandmother's words. She had dismissed them on the morning she left as the old woman's fear of change. Now, months later, in the dark of a strange room in a city that had swallowed her whole, those words felt less like warnings from the past and more like a map she had thrown away before the journey began. One evening she heard 2 of the other women whispering by the window. One of them mentioned a name, Kwame, the seer. She said that a woman called Edwa had gone to see him 2 months before, and shortly after, Edwa had found a way out. The second woman was nervous, but the first one said that Kwame did not offer magic. He offered something harder and rarer than magic. He offered truth. Akasua waited until her next half-day off, and then followed the directions she had been given. They led her away from the busy main streets, down narrower and quieter lanes, to a small wooden door at the end of a short alley. She knocked. The door opened, and she went in. The room inside was dim and warm and smelled of sweet incense and dried herbs. Shelves lined every wall, holding clay pots, carved figures, and bundles of plants. A single oil lamp burned on the floor, and in the warm circle of its light sat a man in earth-colored robes, cross-legged on a woven mat. His face was weathered, and his eyes were the calmest and most still Akasua had ever seen. He looked at her as if he had been expecting her for a long time. He listened to everything without speaking. Then he told her something she had not been ready to hear. That the real chain holding her in place was not the contract, and not the debt. It was her own belief that she had no power. Madame Charity's operation ran entirely on that belief. The moment Akasua stopped accepting it as true, the ground beneath the whole arrangement would begin to shift. He placed a small carved wooden token in her hand, and told her it was a reminder, not of magic, but of the strength she had carried with her all along without knowing it.